Well, it's Thirsty Thursday, and that means it's time for illegitimate picks. And DF's top 12. That's me, Dependent Fanatic. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. If you haven't been here, thank you. If you have been here for all this time, I know it's hit or miss. Got good videos, got bad videos. Type about it. I don't care. It's a hobby. Anyway, Thirsty Thursday. And week 9 power rankings. Let's go. Top 12. I do 12 teams because there are 12 playoff representatives this season. And I include a G5 opponent. That means group of 5 opponent at the end of this video as well. Well, I'll just tell you right now, the group of 5 is not in the top 12 yet, but they will take one of the 12 teams that are ranked top 12. They're going to take their spot, and right now that's Boise State. They're 5-1, and they play at UNLV, who only has one loss as well. That'll be an interesting game this upcoming week. All right, number 1 in the top 12 this week power ranking is Oregon. How could it not be? 7-0. They have Illinois this week at home. They are 6-1. Number 2 is Ohio State. They are 5-1. Their only loss was to the number 1 team on the road by 1 point. They have Nebraska at home, a 5-2 team. Now, this is interesting. In this top 12, 6 of those teams play a 2-loss team or better this upcoming week. So there should be a little bit of shakeup in college football, which is welcome and inviting now that my Wolverines are not doing that great, but we'll get to that game. I already did in a preview for that game, so go watch that. Georgia's number 3 still, in my opinion, in the power ranking. And there's the resume ranking where it's your resume and who deserves to be ranked 1 through 26, I think, this past week. This is who I think are the 12 best teams in order this week. Georgia's number 3 still. 6-1. Their only loss is on the road at Alabama. They have a bye week this upcoming week. Number 4 is Texas. Their only loss is to Georgia. So they're 1 spot behind Georgia. They are at Vanderbilt this upcoming week, who is a 5-2 team who beat Alabama. Number 5, Miami, Florida, is 7-0. They have rival Florida State this week, who is 1-6, and we'll get to that game. I think they win, of course, but by how much? Number 6 is Penn State in my power ranking. They are 6-0. They are at Wisconsin, who is a 5-2 team. And, you know, if they're as good as Alabama, they'll beat them like Alabama did. And Alabama is one of the teams that dropped from this ranking. I still think they're very good. I was close to putting them in this top 12 still with 2 losses this early. Yes, I was. All right. Number 7 is Iowa State. They keep plugging along. They won on the road, I think, against Oklahoma State in one of the recent weeks. They have a bye week this week. Now, number 8, Pittsburgh. Another Pennsylvania school that beat West Virginia and not much else. 6-0. They actually beat Syracuse tonight, so that is a good win. Syracuse was 5-1. They beat them tonight, Thursday night. Number 9 is BYU for me. 7-0. And they're at Central Florida, who has given a lot of teams some scares. BYU, though, has some good wins, like Kansas State, who is my number 12 team in this power ranking. So I got to have them at number 9 as of right now. Number 10 is Texas A&M. I think they beat LSU this upcoming week. I think they're the better team. They are 6-1. They have LSU, who is 6-1. Now, what does it mean when ESPN says Texas A&M off? When you're looking at the lines for every game, because that's coming in this video, what does that mean? Does that mean it's even, open, it's a pick 'em? Because I picked Texas A&M in that game. Anyway, number 11 is new. They were in the top 10 earlier, top 12 earlier. Tennessee is number 11. They're back 6-1. They beat Alabama. They have a bye week this upcoming week. And then number 12 remains the same. They've always been sitting there at number 12 for me, which is Kansas State. 6-1 ever since they lost to BYU. They have Kansas this upcoming week and a 2-5 team. So it's a rivalry, but bad team. And then I said Boise State was a group of 5. They're 5-1, and they play at UNLV. That's going to be an interesting game because the winner of that game all of a sudden vaults themselves up to the top of the G5 pecking order because Liberty is out. Well, Army and Navy have something to say about it all, but Liberty's out. They lost to Kennesaw State tonight, or last night, Tuesday night, whenever it was. They lost. So, Boise State and UNLV have a good shot here, the winner of that game. All right. Dropping from the ranking was Alabama. They're now 5-2. And I'll give you some honorable mentions that I thought about ranking. Notre Dame, 6-1. They beat Texas A&M, who I have at number 10. That loss to Northern Illinois, and I think Navy's going to beat them. We'll get to that. Washington State is 6-1, and there is a Pac-12 conference still. Can they steal a bid from the SEC and Big Ten, basically? Can they do that? I think they probably can. And then Missouri, I thought about ranking as well in the top 12. They play Alabama this week. They are 6-1. So, let's get to my picks. Now, overall for the season, I am 95-35 straight up for my picks. And now, after a good week last week, I am 41-42 against the spread. 1 over par. Span Marcola. I think you were Mark Spanola earlier. I don't know who you are, but yeah, you say you're 2 under par. You only make 3 picks a week. I make a lot of them, and there's a lot of them here this week. 4 noon games. Nebraska is at Ohio State. I think Ohio State wins this game 42-13. Vegas, the line is 25.5. That's a 3.5 point difference. I'm going to take Ohio State to cover that spread, and I will bet it. All right. Notre Dame is at Navy. I preluded to this. I think Navy wins this game 28-27, and it will show Michigan that they should have did a little bit different this year and did the triple option with Orgy. That's what they should have did. Navy undefeated, the rushing leader in the nation, is going to take down Notre Dame. They already lost to NIU. Notre Dame's favored by 14 points. So I didn't bet the money line, but I'm going to take 14 points for Navy, and I'll bet that game. And then Washington is at Indiana, the Cinderella of the Big Ten so far. But when are they going to play somebody that has a defense that can slow their offense down and an offense that can score against their defense? Well, that's Washington. I think Washington wins this game 31-28. Indiana is favored by 6.5 points. So that's a 9.5 point difference, really, because I have Washington winning by 3, but Indiana is favored by 6.5, 9.5 point difference. I'm going to bet that game on the money line in this game. All right, Oklahoma is at Ole Miss. Oklahoma, a 4-3 team or something, Miss 5-2. Both teams desperately need a win in this game. I think Ole Miss wins by 2 touchdowns. Comfortable, 34-20. The line for Ole Miss was 20 points. That's a 6-point difference. I'm taking Oklahoma and 20 points here at noon, and I'll bet that game. All right, 3:30 games Eastern Time. Illinois is at Oregon. Illinois just dismantled Michigan, but that's getting easier and easier to do. They beat Nebraska. Oregon beat Ohio State. Oregon's going to win this game, 34-17. That's a 5-point difference from ESPN's 22 points that they think Oregon is going to win by. All these lines came from ESPN here tonight in a pinch. I'm going to stay. I'm going to take 22 points and bet Illinois. BYU and at UCF. This is the one where I was going to stay away. I looked one line down, sorry. BYU at UCF. Like I said, UCF has been close. I think they do it. I think UCF pulls off a big upset this week. 33-31. The problem is, so does Vegas. Vegas had a 2-point victory for UCF as well. So I have no other choice than to stay away from this game, but mark it down, UCF wins. All right. Missouri is at Alabama. Alabama's favored by 16.5 points. I think they win 31-20. Missouri is going to be able to score on their defense. It's not a Nick Saban defense. And then Jalen Milroe and that offense has become a little bit predictable. But their offensive line, and they just got enough talent to win this game by 11 points, not 17. I'm going to bet Missouri plus 16.5 points, and I'll bet that. All right. Oklahoma State is at Baylor. How is Baylor favored by 7 points? They're terrible. Oklahoma State at least lost to a couple of good teams. Wow. I think Oklahoma State wins this game on the road, 30-24. Baylor's favored by 7. That's a 13-point difference. I'm betting the money line. Betting the money line on this one for Oklahoma State. At 4:15, we have Texas at Vanderbilt. Texas coming off the loss to Georgia. Vanderbilt still 5-2 and riding high after their win versus Alabama. it's going to be a real close game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, too. Texas wins, but only 27-24 in this game. Vanderbilt's not bad. And, you know, we all thought Texas was a juggernaut before last week versus Texas. I still think they're going to be very good. They lost to a very good Georgia team. So, what do? I think I'm going to take Vanderbilt because they're favored by, they're going to get 18.5 points. Texas is favored by 18.5 in this game on the road at Vanderbilt. That's a 15.5 difference from my prediction. I'm betting it. At 7 o'clock, we have Florida State at Miami. A 1-6 Florida State versus a 7-0 Miami team. It's a rivalry. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns, Miami is, because Florida State is just that bad. 34-20, I have Miami winning this game. They're favored by 21 points. That's a 7-point difference from my prediction, but I'm going to stay away because FSU is that bad. I'm not betting this game at all, but I'm going to pick Miami to win. Florida State is that atrocious where they can't cover in a rival game. All right. We got 5 games left. Penn State at 7:30 is at Wisconsin. Penn State, like I said, who they beat West Virginia on the road early. It was a delay and all that, and they didn't beat them by much. I think Wisconsin wins this game. I do. Even though they got beat down by Alabama, I'm looking at the rosters and you can't have overreactions. You just can't when you're trying to pick games. Maybe I am right now. Like the comedian said, Jim Jeffries, maybe I think I'm saying something, but I'm in a mental institution, a straitjacket going, you never know. Hopefully this week turns my season around. Anyway, I got Wisconsin. This is a money line pick for me. Penn State is favored by 6.5 points. I have Wisconsin winning by 3. That's a 9.5 point difference. All right. LSU is at Texas A&M, and that's where I was wondering, is this an even pick'em game? I'd pick Texas A&M, but I don't know, so I'm not going to bet it. And then Michigan State is at Michigan in Ann Arbor. Friends don't let friends be State fans, but they can still win. They're going to win. They're going to win this game. 20-17 low scoring game, and that's if they run the ball. If they just run versus Michigan State. Because the passing attack is not there from Michigan. All right. I digress. Michigan somehow is favored by 5 points in this game. I have no idea how. I have Michigan State winning by 3. That's an 8-point difference. I'm going to take the 5 points in Michigan State to cover, and I'll bet it. I think they're going to win. But I'm not going to go that far as to do the money line. I can't. All right, 8 o'clock, 2 games we got at 8 o'clock. Kansas is at Kansas State. Kansas State is favored by 10 points is all. Really? I got them winning 45-24. They're going to give up some points. They did to BYU and some of these other teams. But I think they're going to score a hell of a lot of points. I love their quarterback. I love their running back. I love their offensive line. Kansas State's offense, as a Michigan fan, it looks pretty damn good to me. I think they're going to score on Kansas 45-24. So I'll lay the 10 points because that's an 11-point difference on my prediction and the bet. And I'll bet it. All right. SMU is at Duke. SMU 6-1. Duke, I think they're 6-1 as well. I think Duke wins at home. 28-24. SMU's favored by 11.5 points. That's a 15.5 difference. I gotta bet the money line on this one. Duke wins money line. Let's go. So 4 money line picks, and they have been saving my ass this season because, like I said, against the spread, I'm 1 under 500 so far. So we'll see how I do. Stay tuned for a reaction to that Michigan State game. And then also, I started my first episode of the Michigan Sports Report where I talk Michigan and Michigan State hockey, men's basketball, and football. And the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Red Wings are in season. The Tigers, unfortunately, did not beat the Guardians, so their season is done. But if there's any good news, I'll let you know about them too. So Mondays, every Monday, that sports report will be out. It'll be a short, sweet video talking about outcomes, what happened, wrapping everything up for you in one video. But anyway, there's more videos. Go check them out. Thank you, everybody. Like the video, share, subscribe, please, if you have not. Thank you to the new subscriber I got, a Michigan State fan. Don't take this personally. Just, you should root for Michigan. Anyway, go Blue, everybody. Have a great night.